Bunny's Designs. This is a live stream, an impromptu stream for ustream.tv and also recorded for YouTube. I'm been rather naughty and found the colouring book, Colour My Sketchbook Dragons by Bennett Klein. So I pressed the digital download and printed them out on slightly better quality paper. It's called high quality photocopy paper and it feels quite nice. So I'm hoping to use a damp brush with this. So these are in order because they all got kind of mixed up a bit, but I just thought I'd go through the different ones and how I think I might tackle these colours. I quite like that one with the tower. It's a bit like the Harry Potter one when he was going around, the dragon was chasing him. He almost looks like stone, doesn't he, or bone. It's quite a nice one. So if anybody's got any comments, pop them in caps. He's a bit of a gruesome looking creature. He's obviously a very old, miserable dragon. I think I'm married to him. Shh. Oh, there we go. I've got the same one. I think he fancies a bit of parrot for tea. And again, he's got the kind of feathering, so he should be quite fun to colour. I haven't quite worked out what this one's doing. It looks like it's doing a little bit of yoga. I think that's his head. Yes, it's his eye. I think he's doing a bit of yoga, that one. Oh, hi Lauren, Judy, Diamonte, KB. Anybody else that's popping in? I just thought I'd go through this Bennett Klein Impulse buy. And there's something wonderful and magical about digital because it's instantly there. And I really wanted to do it because a lot of times I can't colour in. So I thought I'd do this one on my Digi UG. In fact, that's going to probably be my stream tomorrow, is my Digi on a Thursday. I was going to try and do YouTube streaming live and set up my Digi camera, my UG digital tablet. Oh, here's Grumpy Pants again. He's definitely a very old, wrinkly, grumbly old one, and that's a baby one. That's a cute baby one. That's like the Chinese blossom tree. I think that'd be quite nice to do. Oh, is it upside down, that one? Let me have a look. Ah. Oh, so he's flying. Sorry. Thank you. Thank you. I thought he was doing a bit of yoga. So he's flying through the photo frame. Aha. Oh well, that's that taught me. He's definitely a bit of a grump pants. I love the scrolls at the back with the dragons. They're quite nice, are those. Kind of like the baby one. He's kind of cute. With his big puppy eyes. You can always get away with anything if you put puppy eyes. I've been trying to think why Alfie looks so cute, my little King Charles, when he's a little terror. And I couldn't put my finger on it. It's taken me a whole year. But he has baby seal pup eyes. Those big, glossy eyes. That's what he has. Oh, this would be quite good. So we've got kind of leather harnesses and kind of medieval kind of things. That would be quite good to colour. I can't understand what this is. It's either dragon's blood or it's a waterfall. I think it's a little water fountain. Oh, hi DRD Mum. Anybody else that's popping? And Laura. I said Laura. Oh, be careful what you wish for, DMD. Be careful what you wish for. Well, I just thought I just kind of couldn't resist it. I couldn't resist it. I just had to do this. So I'll be colouring this one in. I'm going to do a colour today, and then just a quick hour. I'm not sure what time anybody else is on. I don't like stepping on anybody else's toes. Well, I somebody's walked across the laptop with wet paw prints, so don't know who that is. Again, that's a bit of a grumpy one. But I like the UG tablet because you can blow it up and have a really good play. There seems to be lines on my printer, but it won't matter too much. He's kind of strutting his stuff, isn't he? So he's going to be quite fun as well. He looks like he's got some wrinkly old stockings on. He's a kind of an old one, isn't he? And then we have kind of a young dragon. I do love all this feathering. This is going to be quite fun. So I don't know if I've got 25. I think I have. 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'm going to do that one today. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, I'm missing quite a few, but never mind. Never mind. It must be the printer. I think I'll do this one. I think I'll do this one because if I looked on the back somewhere, I knew I'd got some mixed up. I do like her though. I think that's a little flower in her hand. So because this is not Bennett Klein paper, oh here they are. They're written on the back. So I'm missing one or two. Just bear with me. I can see them on here. Yes, so that one is page. I haven't got page 17. Oh, I don't know why I haven't got page 17. So we're missing 17, 18, 19. Oh, right, so we want page 17. So bear with me a second. This is what happened last time, so I've got 2 of something. So we want page 17 to 25. So I just popped some printer paper in and we can have a look at the other ones as well. We have we have a person here. Well, not quite a person. Yeah, I've just popped the wrong paper in. So this is ordinary, my cheapy Tesco's printy paper, and then this is this Premium Choice HP, and there is quite a bit of difference actually. It feels nicer, so I think for when I'm colouring in, I'm going to use the nicer paper. So we'll just go back onto here and I'll press. Bear with me 2 seconds. To 25. So I'm going to have a lot of spare ones to mess about with because I've made such a mess of the printing. Oh right, I shall just have to leave that then. Is the angel the first page? The angel's the first page. I quite like the angel. I think she's quite sweet. But I did like this one. The angel's the quite sweet. I might do the first page then. The angel's the first one. I'll do that one. Oopsie, trapped my ears. Same thing, if you ever get up to do anything, everything's always trapped in the wrong way. So I hope the volume's okay. Let me have a look. Should be okay. I hope everybody can hear me. It doesn't sound like it's okay now. Has it gone off? I think it's gone off. And that should be on. I'll just see if I can turn it up a little bit. See if that makes that bit difference. I wonder what's wrong with the sound. It seems to have, oops, gone again. Let me have a look at that. Let's close that one. If we can close these. I think my laptop doesn't like things if I'm not doing one thing at a time. So hopefully that should be okay. So I'm going to have a go with this one. So I'm going to have my little I've actually found a set of these, but I think they're about £26, which I think is a bit expensive, but anyway, I'm glad I found the little tiny one. So I might just have a look at these really pale colours. These are the colours that I use in the other Bennett Klein, but I quite like some of these colours to have a bit of a think. Is it too low? Yes, it seems to have done something. I don't know. I think it's the laptop. Is that any better? Is that worse? Have a look. Sorry about that. I don't know why it goes lower and higher. It shouldn't in theory move, but hopefully that should be better. I don't know why it's not even. Is that better? It shouldn't make any difference. I don't know why it's making a difference. Because if I turn it up a lot, it tends to go very high. Is that about right? Oh, hi Sherry Pie. Is that any better? Hopefully it is. It's the laptop. I think it's just having one of its days. It seems to be having a moment. The little dragon that I did, I can't think which book it was now. I've got a funny feeling it was Imagimorphia. We did a little dragon, and I love the colours. That I thought I would copy these colours. I love the little colours on here on our little dragon. So I think I might try and have a look and see if I can use those colours. Excuse me. So we need it's almost a red violet, that one, isn't it? So just have a quick look. Maybe just a little bit redder. And we need the ultramarine. We need a little bit. That's almost perfect, but we'll just try pale. Oh, I think pale may be just a little bit better. Oh no, maybe that one. But I'm going to have I'll have two. Wait a second, because I don't want to have. I think I'm going to go for those two, and then I want a pea green and that very pale green, I think. It's always a good idea to have a bit of a play. I think I like those two. So that's our dragon colours. Is that better? Oh, thank you. That's good. Thank you very much. So, as I say, welcome to Bunny's Designs. This is the first of a series of obviously 25 of the Bennett Klein new dragon book that I've just bought and printed. So I've printed it on better paper than I normally do. And I'm working with the pastel pencils because I find these the easiest for me to use at the moment. So we've got 300 pale ultramarine, a red violet which is P270, ultramarine is 290, violet 260, pea green is 430, and fresh green is 470. And that's going to give me my colours. I want to play with the dragons, I think. So if I have a look, I kind of had a pinky kind of a tummy, a green centre, and then a purple kind of ruffles. So I'll zoom in and then we'll have a quick look and see how we're doing. Just pop that to one side. So thanks for stopping by, guys, and if anybody else is streaming, let me know and I'll zoom off. I'll just finish the video and zoom off. So I'm going to zoom in so we can get up close and have a look at the little scales, I think, because we can do some nice things, I think. So the two purples, and I love the pastel pencils because you can just get on with it, you can just start. So this is the paler one. So again, there's not much tooth on this, it's just paper and it's flat. So I'm just going to put the tiniest amount. And again, as a tight Yorkshire lass, I like the fact that I'm not wasting anything. So I'm just going to put the tiniest, I'm going to leave the horns at the moment, just kind of do the feathering. So this is the pale one. And then we have the the ultramarine, which is a little bit darker. And I'm just scratching the surface because my thumb will not move on its own, so I can basically do it like this and it would be fine. The only reason is my thumb would be in the way and you wouldn't see anything, so I can just about manage to do that. I think I quite like this colour. Just let me see if I can get rid of that little message. So it says that it's $10, but when you go onto PayPal, it comes out at £6 something. I expected it to be 10 actually, but it wasn't. So I'm going to pop that under there. I think I might just think about this bit being probably more of the purple and then the kind of green coming out from the finer scales. I think I might just do that. And then we can kind of stay in with the kind of greens that we want. So I'm going to turn that sideways. So I hope the colour's alright. And then blow off the little bit of dust. And I really want to go from pale to dark rather than lose that nice pale that I've got on top. I'll try this little tiny one, which I didn't realise I'd forgotten about it. As soon as I saw it, I remembered using it, but I have a funny feeling I have another one somewhere, but I don't know where it is. But this is a 0, and it says it's an angle chisel, firm, and it's a 0. But I'm quite pleased I don't have to buy any more because they are a bit expensive, so I've obviously bought them to use them for something else. I quite like those colours. Oops, sorry, I was out of thingy. And again, we can put some kind of darker green and paler green. Kind of a paler green on top. This I think is going to be the pinky purple, I think, so we want some pale. A bit of pale green going on. Then obviously I'll just move that out of the way. It's looking so I think that looks quite okay. I'm going to just start and maybe get rid of some of this purpley blue to clean my blending tool. So we'll start with that little very pastel-y nose, pale nose. And there's something quite nice about blending. It's a little bit like having a watercolour effect, but you don't have all that wet, so it's just nice to work with. And I love the pencils in the book because it meant I could stay quite dry. But I obviously didn't fix those. Where I'm gonna actually fix these because this paper will stand that. I think I want maybe a highlight on the eye there. The colours seemed a little bit flashed out. Maybe just have a bit of a play with the colour. I'll just turn that light out. I might get a better green. Oh, that's a little bit better. It's a little bit better. It seems to be his proper colours. I wonder if I could just move that camera up there very slightly, because I'm creasing the edge of the paper. And then we have a pink, and so I think the pink will be on here, the paley bit. And again, I've made a mistake, so I love the fact that if you make a mistake with these, whoops, oh, I've broken it now. It's going to be one of those days today, isn't it? I can tell. It's just one of those days. Yeah. Let me have a look. Yeah. I've lost the top. Must have fallen near the dog. There's no way I can get down there and find it. So, never mind. Oh, gee whiz. We're going to have to hope that those are going to stay where they are. So, because I haven't blended it, I can get rid of it. So I really like that, because I wanted the pale pink to go on the top and the darker purple to go underneath. So we've got red violet 720 and violet 260. So there's not much in the colours, but I wanted that one just to be on there, just a little bit paler. In fact, I think I might actually do something else. Let me just get rid of all that. Again, sometimes I like the fact that you can make a boo-boo and then change your mind. I had a feeling like the Hagrid's. I want that to be paler, but I want the middle to be kind of pale, and then the outside, and I've just got to be a bit careful. So we've got you can tell it's a scale. So in theory, if we blend this in now, just bear with me, I seem to have lots of things. Oops, the camera's just fallen off. It's going to be one of those days. Bear with me 2 seconds. Oh, Laura says, what's the name of the blender? So the blenders I'm using is the Colour Shaper. It's a firm, it's Royal Sovereign, and I was a bit disgruntled to find how much they were, because I can imagine I did not pay that. This is a taper point, and I love this one, number 6. And then I found, when I was rooting around, a 0 angle chisel, 0, and that's a real tiny little diddy one. And I've got a funny feeling I have a set. There will be some more somewhere else. But I was quite surprised how expensive they were. I didn't expect them to be that expensive. So what I'm trying to do is keep that pale in the middle, but it's not working particularly well. But we can get some quite nice colours, I think, on there. But I can always use the eraser to just put a highlight in the centre of each one of those to make them pop out. So But the only reason I've got these pastels is because actually I still can't use it like that. I can use it with my hand using it, but not with that. So I think this is a leg. So I'm not sure if the leg. Oh no, it's a wing. So the wing could be purple as well, couldn't it? And then we'll use the paler one to go around there. I can't believe that the light's gone. I think it's because this camera moved. Let me just see if I can move that camera back. That's a better colour. For some reason the camera's decided it's just going to be a bit bad. I did want just a hint of that going up there, just a hint. And I must admit, I love playing with these pastels because if I was playing with watercolour, it would take me a while to mix colours and mess about. And I think somebody asked me earlier what was my favourite colours kind of be, and I like my little book because it's easy, but my little book has a lot of watercolours in it, but mainly the pencils and crayons, but everything's water based because it's just easy to use, and there's something really nice about that. So again, I think we'll have a bit of a highlight on top. And then a bit of green underneath. But again, I can put these pastels into my. I do intend to put these pastels. Just looking behind there, that's definitely a claw and a foot. I intend to put these pastels into my little book of colours. What were you looking for? Oh, the blenders. I don't. It does say UK on them. It says Royal Sovereign Limited UK. They have them at Cass Art, but I was a bit upset. They are about £20 odd. But these are firm, so I would think they're all the kind of the same. But the best thing to do is to buy one and have a play. And if you like it, you've only bought one. You can go buy some more, and then if you really hate it, you don't have to buy any more. You can go find a deeper one. Oopsie, that frightened me to death. Yes, it frightened Alfie to death as well. That frightened the Alfie to death. I think that's the back of her thing there. So if that's pinky purple, that's green. I think that's purple, and I think that's going to be green. And then that's going to be a darker green. So I've only got two of each colour, and yet I'm quite enjoying myself. But the nicest thing is it's still on only just photo paper. So all this colour, even though it's blended in, is still hanging on for dear life. It's not, with a wisp it can be taken off. So I quite like him. I've no idea what colours to do his horns. I've done the purple on there, so not sure. I could do them golden maybe. I've got a marigold colour. I'm going to leave them because I don't know what colour to do them. what I do want to do is to take off a highlight. This is where you do all the work normally. If you were doing, oops, it seems to be a bit, I just kind of make a highlight on the tip of each one. And highlight on his eyelash, or on his eye there, and makes him a bit more 3D. Tip of his nose, and definitely on the eye. I don't want to do it too much, a little bit on the chest there, just on that neck, and then maybe kind of a shiny highlight all the way down, a little bit like what we do on the berries. So he seems to have a bit of a highlight, and then a little bit on here. Tiniest bit there, and then on his toes. Then we use that little fluffy brush, because again we can't rub with our fingers because it would definitely rub off. And I'm just going to go in there with this kind of purple, but I've got a bit of green on it, so it's going to kind of be a bit grungy under there. And, you know, is it a purple of green, or is it a greeny purple? So that's kind of giving a bit of depth into there. Maybe a tiny bit of dark in there. Seems to be just a little bit of line on there to get rid of that. And I quite like him actually, so I'm going to take my little brush and I'm going to seal it now. Again, because all the blending's done, I'm not doing anything apart from gently putting a layer of dampness right across, and you can see it going slightly darker, and it's crinkled a little bit because this is thinner paper, but I wouldn't have thought I could do this on the Bennett Klein actual book because they are a lot thinner. This is photocopy paper. And it brightens up all the dark outline pages. So it does look really, really nice when you finished it. And it's set, so scribbling with a pencil for me just isn't really an option at the moment. And of course the ink tents would look amazing, but can't do that. But I love these pastels. I can still use them as a watercolour, and I've kept that little highlight right on the end of his foot, on his toe there, so that's quite nice. There's a bit of a highlight there, and now that's completely set. I think I want a golden eye. I think we might have a cadmium. I think I'm going to have a cadmium yellow, and I didn't touch the eye with anything, so that's fine. And of course I might as well do his eye on the other side while I'm there. And that was just actually going to just go in there. Oops, I'm not going to use that one. I'm going to use the tiny one, a tiny little brush. So the other thing you can use is in the Derwent Cotman little pans that you get for travelling with your watercolour set, you get little pens, and that's quite a nice one. So if there's anything that's too small to be blended, I don't bother blending it. I'm just going to go in there, just stroke water across, and that's become a watercolour now. So if I turn it over, there's a slightly bit of damp on the back there. I got a bit carried away, but this is a little bit thicker than photocopy paper. This is a better quality photocopy paper, so I think that's the way to go. It's not card, but I think that looks quite nice, and it's going to be quite flat. So we've now got to match up the little man behind her. A big dragon, and I call him a little man. It's fine. So I'm going to do the other dragon while we're there. So we'll put that down there, and we'll put a little bit of colour. And these pencils are literally just scratching the surface, because my thumb will not, I can do it without my thumb, so it's quite nice that you can just kind of go in there. I'm trying to keep my thumb out of the way, but you're just scratching a tiniest amount of colour. And I think we'll go to there possibly. Then we've got the paler blue on the end, just to give that just that bit of purple. So I thought I'd stream today because hubby's not very well. I was on earlier today, but hubby's not very well, so he's gone to bed. So when it's quiet, the dogs settle down and it's always quieter, but we'll see. And again, you can use this just by just stroking it gently in little circular motions. I'm hoping I can get back to the pencils, but it's not looking that bright at the moment, so rather than wallow in what I can't do, I'm having a bit of a splurge and had a look at what I can do. So we've got the two greens again, so I do like that pale green on his nose. And I was actually going to darken that down, I forgot to do that on this one. And I like the fact that he's got that lovely light kind of bit up there. And then the dark bit. It's always nicer when they've got their eye in, because once they can see, I think animals come to life when they've got their eye. I know some people put them in last, but I kind of like them in first. I think I'm going to put dark under there. So I'll blow that colour away. It's not much. Oh, bye Laura, thank you for stopping by. Oh, I didn't realise. Yes, do feel free. I shall be over there shortly. What time are we on now? Yeah, I'm just going to do about another 15 minutes just to finish off this video of this first Bennett Klein page. Thanks for stopping by. So I'll just finish the dragon, and then I quite like the colours, so you can see one that's been highlighted and one that hasn't. So I did his tummy in the purples, So we've got the darker purples. I don't know if that's her or the dragon. I actually think it's the dragon, so I've missed that off. So down here I've got a bit of a problem because I've got a silly thing in the way, but never mind. And then we had this bit paler. And this bit was paler as well. And then we had this bit. And I think there's a bit of purple in there, I think. So you can just, and it's quite nice because it's grayscale, so your purple is kind of mingled in anyway, so and even putting a flat coat on it's quite okay because most of the work's been done for us. We know where we need to put everything, and just by adding colour, the grayscale does everything for us. We just give it a little bit more depth, that's all. Just sneak over there really quickly and do that little bit. Then back to the green. So again, where it's fairly light, you want the lighter colour, and then when it's darker you want the darker colour. So again, all that hard work's been thought out for you. But these pastels just disintegrate on the page. They're so soft. Even trying to draw and colour with the Derwent ink tints and the watercolours, you still got to scratch down. You really don't have to scratch down with these. They're very, 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 very well behaved. And again, when you smush this in, you've got a chance to kind of add a little bit. And this little kind of soft rubber end on here kind of just squishes everything in with the least amount of pressure. Because again, there's no tooth to this paper, so there is no resist. It's just rubbing on shiny paper, so it's quite easy to rub everything in with the smallest amount of pressure. So again, we've got another dragon done, and we'll just do his tummy. And it's the only thing my fingers have problems with, if anything's not working. But you can take the eraser and pull this out a little bit so you've got more. So we wanted a bit of a highlight on here, and if you really need, for precision, you need to be a bit kind of vertical, because we don't really want to kind of take too much off. And again, I love the fact I don't need a thumb. Although you are quite restricted in what other things you can do, but it's quite funny. You don't realise just how much you use the silly digit that always seems to be in the way. So again, I think we'll just kind of put one highlight on here. Now, if you really wanted to, you could make the light come from more from one side than another, so one dragon's going to be quite bright and the other one isn't, but I don't really want to go into too much detail. I just want to give this one just a little bit of Needs a bit of a manicure as well, I think. So I think he's got enough highlights on him just to give it a little bit of depth. So we can use our magic fluffy sable watercolour brush that's a bit useless to me at the moment. Get our rigger and just dampen this one. I've done the eye, so I just want to gently, and remember I'm not blending this time, everything's been blended. All I'm doing is just very light dusting of water. That's literally all I'm doing, because the more water I have, the more the colours will move, and I don't want them to move because I've just got some really nice blends. So they'll move and they will also wet the page too much, and I don't really want a lot of bobbling really. If it doesn't bother you, then you can do it in the book, but I like the fact that my pages are flat, and I don't really want a lot of water around because I'm clumsy. I have a pot of water and it's miles away because I am so clumsy that everything gets dropped, broken, and so that's why I like the pencils in that little pencil wrap, because I'm not going to drop the wrap. And then I did that little extra bit at this side here, and I just need to go over that to make sure that if I pan out now, you can see. Oh, Stargazer. You've bought the pencil pastels. Are they the Derwent ones or the other ones? I do have some Conti ones, and I was going to have a look at those actually, but I'm just kind of in the zone of getting to know the colours and kind of tones. And when you throw different ones in the works, that naughty Amazon gremlin, he's terrible. So he's not in my computer then, he's actually on Amazon. That's really naughty. So that's the start of our little angel, and we can now touch that without any problem. So if that was in the Bennett Klein book, it would be fine because it's now set, it's not a pastel. But if I did take a water brush to it, it would move because it's now a watercolour, but it's dried. And all pastels are watercolours, so if I start smishing these beauties around, for backgrounds, I'm going to start using these because I need to use them up, and I can actually use them because I can just kind of literally drag them and I get them as gorgeous colours. They're a little bit dusty, so I was going to wait to use them outside, but I'm going to start and try and do some backgrounds. These will turn into watercolours. All pastels will turn into a watercolour if you add water to them. So again, they're going to be perfect to go in my little book. And again, if you look at these purples and gorgeous colours, they've got some fab colours in there. So thank you for watching my first video of Bennett Klein's. They're the real colours, a little bit darker in real life, but I do like the yellow eye. I'm kind of very proud of the yellow eye. And that was very quick as well, but you got quite a nice effect. So again, sometimes I like to work fairly fast. So thank you for watching my first Bennett Klein Dragon page with my Derwent watercolour pencils, my Derwent pastel pencils that have been fixed with a water brush, or fixed with water I should say, sorry. Water brushes would drown it too much. So thank you for watching.